All right, guys, doing a little different video here. It's gonna be super brief, like probably about 3-4 minutes. We're going over the set 12 mechanic charms. It was released on YouTube today. I was gonna go over the set overview. The problem with that is that Bunny Muffins is the only person I can see that's actually had it. Maybe he had early access to it. Bunny Muffins went over the traits. I was doing a little review on that, but I'm like, I don't really like the video how I made it, so we're just gonna do this one really quickly and go over the mechanic. I think this is what most people want to see, right? So let's just jump into it.
We still need to talk about charms.
Yes, we do.
Matt, Alicia, give our friends the scoop.
Hey Tacticians, I'm Matt Dunn, the game designer behind this set's mechanic.
Hello, Matt.
Charms. I'm here with Alicia Loring, who helped us make charms a reality in-game.
Charmed to meet you. I'm Alicia, the UX lead for TFT.
Charms are magical abilities that you can purchase from the shop once.
Yeah, so I'm not going to put any negative spins on this. I already like to see the units. I see Twitch is back, Blitzcrank, Warwick, Poppy. Lots of my favorites. This kind of brings back to previous sets. The art looks really cool. Here's the only thing I'm going to say that would be negative. I don't really like things that take up a bench slot. They've had this with, like, I think it was in set 9 or 9.5. I forget which one it was where you got Heimer. It might have been 8.5. You get Heimerdinger. And like Heimerdinger, like his big thing was like you get a turret. And you get like all upgrades to your turret you have to buy out of your shop, so you'd lose a shop spot to that. And in other sets as well, they've had things like that where it takes up a shop spot. Yeah, it's the encounter though. We got to give it its chance. Let's go through it.
From anywhere from 20-ish gold to completely free. They do a whole host of wild and wacky things, but their power is tied to their cost and the stage to become available. You'll only be able to buy one per round, despite seeing multiple if you roll enough, so you'll want to pick the one that's most useful to you at any given moment. Let's talk through some examples, starting with a simple one. Phantom Gloves. For 3 gold, you'll get a temporary Thief's Gloves until the end of your next player combat.
Is it really a thief's gloves if you don't get to keep it?
Right.
A more big brain example comes from the Copycat charm, which grants you a 1-star copy of the first enemy champion to die during the next player combat. There are also charms that appear during the mid-game, when you have a bit more gold, but you're still tinkering with your strategy. Reclamation is a cheap charm that breaks apart items on bench champions.
Very
for a
helpful.
round. Combat-oriented charms are likely to appear during the mid-game as well. Earthquake stuns your opponent's board for 2 seconds at the start of combat, while Silver Guard makes your team immune to crowd control for the first few seconds of the fight.
Cool.
Talk about a hard counter.
Later in the game, you'll get offered more expensive and powerful charms, like Spawn Swarm, which for 8 gold will make it so your dying champs spawn a small voidling. Gross. All 5s, a medium-priced charm, will immediately re-roll your shop into all 5 costs. It's perfect for taking screenshots to show your friends.
Why does this dude have 500 gold? And how come, like, I've never hit that? That's insane. No win spree, 500 gold. Best game.
Just how lucky you are. Lastly, we have Ascendant charms, which come from Xerath, a 5-cost Arcana champion with the unique Ascendant trait. Xerath, whose ability launches
Holy crap, look at the size of that dummy. Oh, sorry, I'll stop pausing, guys. That's hilarious.
a barrage of arcane blasts at enemies, can grant you access to charms like the Tower, which summons a large target dummy for a round that strikes enemies with lightning. Or the Sun, which will grant you a support anvil and an artifact
Oh, that's
anvil.
cool.
With all these exciting late-game charms, we expect to see some crazy final 2 or 3 player fights, as players desperately charm roll to eke out just one placement better.
When the team came up with charms, we had to figure out just how to make them make sense in the game. My personal approach is that UX should feel like magic. It should fade into the background and feel like a natural extension of your powers as a tactician in the Convergence. You can see this philosophy at work with recommended items, augments and armory interfaces, or our favorite memory enhancer,
That's amazing.
the Team Planner. But for charms, we wanted to deliver something a little more delightful. When you buy a charm, it will follow your tactician around and show everyone in the lobby what type of magic you've got your hands on. And we're always looking for more ways to level up the overall TFT experience. So we're also working on quality of life improvements like new stats, or even ways to add.
Okay, so we'll pause it there. That's obviously going to be the end of the video. So charms, that's what we're talking about right now. I think it's going to be a cool encounter. It's not overwhelming like encounters. Here's my only, how do I say this though? I'm not going to put anything negative on the set. I think this set's actually going to be a lot of fun from the brief little bit I've seen. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun playing it for a long time. The thing with this is like, okay, how do you account for RNG? Like, so say you're playing against somebody and they get like, after a while, you start to figure out like what charms are like really the good ones, right? And then you're getting encounters where like this dude gets Earthquake like 3 rounds in a row. So every time you start off a round, you're just getting Earthquake. Like, how do you balance out the RNG where you're getting like kind of like the less ideal charms than other players like get super lucky and hit 5 for 5 or whatever it is, where you get 5 cost champions to get like 2 times in a row? Like, I don't know how they're gonna balance that out, because like this game has a lot of moments where you're like, man, this RNG is just off. Like high rollers, they say hit everything. Meanwhile, you can't hit a single 2-star unit, you know? So I think the encounters gonna be really cool. I don't normally like something that takes up the shop, but they did say you don't see it every single roll. So I know like in set 10 you had like the headliners who eat up one of your spots, but you only see like every 4th roll if you already had the headliner. Maybe charm is like that. Like once you buy one, you might be able to roll, but like I guess you only get it for the 1 round. But maybe you can like roll again. You might not see a charm in your next shop. I think it's gonna be kind of bait for a lot of people. You might see a charm, you're like, oh, I need to buy this, but then like you might be dipping into interest and things like that. So I think in the early part of the game, there's gonna be a lot of people that are just be spamming charms and they won't have money to really build an optimal board. But it's gonna be really cool. My only other thing I want to add to this, I did see that the PB, I've seen mixed reviews. So in the Bunny Muffins video at the end of the set reveal, at the bottom of it, they did say it will come to PBE on July 16th, which is 2 days away. And I also saw a Mort Dog article where it said that they were going to, for summer break, push the PBE until the following week, and I think it was July 23rd. My concerns around that are like the set 11 PBE was a complete shit show. And I think if you have a PBE in 1 week, that won't be enough time for like the devs to really fix everything before the actual release. So I think they have to release it on the 16th. I'd be very shocked if they didn't. Because like I said, if they launch this at the end of the month and you have 1 week for all the players that jumped into PBE to like be like, hey, we found this bug and that bug and that bug, that's a lot of work to put on one group of people for a single week. But anyways, that's our little mechanic. We're gonna get charms, we're gonna get interesting things. Hopefully there's way more than the encounters in set 11. I know they said they had something like I think 80 different types of encounters in set 11, but I only feel like I was ever really seen 20. Like it was like you'd always see the same kind of ones. When you saw one that was like really off, they did the same thing as another encounter, just like a different costed unit or something like that. You know, it didn't really feel like it was that broad. I'm hoping charms there's like hundreds of them, you know, where you just get like random crap. Some of them are not good, some of them are. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Small little video as promised, and we will see you guys on the next one. Peace.